I hope you're ready for some tapped fish because we're playing two brand new cards from Bloomburrow, Stormcatch Mentor, and Into the Flood Maw. Let's go check out today's Ruby Storm deck list. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Welcome to Bloomburrow, Magic the Gathering's latest set, and in it, there's two cards that are really exciting for Ruby Storm. The first one is a Cyborg card, Into the Flood Maw. This card reminds me a lot of Chain of Vapor. And why is that? Well, it's a 1-mana blue instant that can bounce all non-land, any non-land permanent, I should say. And well, it has some kicker to it. So you can gift a tapped fish. Love that, by the way. And if you do, you can bounce any non-land permanent. But if you don't give your opponent the gift, it's just bounce a creature permanent. Okay, well, that's pretty interesting. It sort of fills the same role in the Boros list as a static prison. Okay, well, we like that. So Into the Flood Maw, we're playing 3 of it. Well, why wouldn't we play 4? Well, if you're playing blue, Flame of Honor becomes really interesting. We have 1 in the sideboard and then 3 in the main deck. So what is Flame of Honor? It deals 5 damage to a creature. Okay, that's pretty good. It destroys an artifact, so it's similar to a Braid. So it kills Damping Sphere or Drannith Magistrate. But here's the best part. If they don't have those 2 things, you can just draw 2 cards. And if you control a wizard, you get to do 2 of the 3. Fun fact, Rail is a wizard. Okay, we like that. So you could kill a Nadu and draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. So something along those lines we're really interested in. Okay, so we like those things. But then the other card we're playing today is Stormcatch Mentor. This card is essentially a Sprite Dragon and Brawl had a kid. And it is so good. So well, what does it do? Well, for a red and a blue, you get a 1/1 Otter Wizard. And it has prowess, so all of your non-creature spells will give it +1/+1, and then all instants and sorceries cost 1 less to cast. We love those things. By the way, it has haste, so you can attack the same turn that it comes into play, much like a Sprite Dragon. Okay, so this card is essentially a secret backdoor win condition. In case something like, your wishes get exiled, you still have a Stormcatch Mentor to win the game with. But another fun fact about this card, it's blue. Obviously, you can see you have eyeballs. I get it. But why that's interesting is the back half of Brawl. The -2 ability can now draw a card because there's actually a blue permanent in our deck. Granted, you're not usually in too many spots where you want a -2. That said, having the option is nice. So that's what we're doing today. And without playing white for Silence or green for Veil of Summer, I do think that Pact of Negation is the next best option. One nice thing about Pact of Negation, it can protect your Rail from a removal spell on the combo turn. Or in Game 1 situations, you can wish and then use the Pact of Negation as a protection spell if your opponent does something. So that's pretty nice as well. So that's what we're doing. And one thing is absent from this deck list, and that would be the Shatterskull Smashings. When you're playing Flame of Honor, you don't have to play Shatterskull Smashing, so you get to run extra fetch lands like Bloodstained Mire or Wooded Foothills, and an additional Thundering Falls. So we're playing 3 Surveil lands today, and without the Shatterskull Smashing, you do get Jegantha back. I think that this is really exciting, and this could be the future of Ruby Storm. Let's see how it does today, and I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We are in the middle of revealing our Jegantha the Wellspring, our trusty companion. Our opponent also has a Jegantha Battles. And look at this opening hand. This is fantastic. We will keep. Let's go. Mountain into a Dragon's Rage Channeler. So this is probably the Gruul Prowess deck. Although it looks like we might be going for a turn 2 win here. We will play Steam Vents past the turn. So one interesting thing about the new Otter in our deck, the Stormcatch Mentor, is that the reason that Rail works so well in this deck is that you can go Ritual, Rail, and then go Desperate Ritual and then kind of combo off. And that's a lot more difficult when you need blue-red as your reducer. So you're more likely to pass the turn than you are to win on turn 2 with a Stormcatch Mentor. I'm not saying it's impossible, it's just a little bit more difficult. They use the Mishra's Bauble. I would like them to tap this mountain. That would be great. So there is a way to win on turn 2. Ooh, the Galvanic Discharge in the main phase. Okay. So there is a way to win on turn 2 with the Stormcatch Mentor, but we have 2 copies of Strike It Rich. So you would want to play Strike It Rich on turn 1, and then Stormcatch Mentor on turn 2, and then use the treasure to play your ritual. There are other hands that require a bunch of Manamorphose, but it's less likely. We're going to take some damage here. Let's begin with the Pyretic Ritual. We will play Monsoon Mage. Desperate Ritual. We'll say Tails. We lose the flip, we take 1. Reckless Impulse. Storm is 3 for the rail, so it's N-1 with our storm count over here. We lost the flip. Valakut Awakening. We'll play the Ren's Resolve, so this is number 4. We'll say Tails. We lost the flip. Ren's Resolve. Ruby Medallion. We'll play Manamorphose. This is spell number 5 for rail. We'll say Tails. We won the flip. I don't want to flip it though. I need one more spell. We'll say blue-red on this. Ooh, another Manamorphose. That was good. Okay, we'll say Tails. We won the flip. Yes, I would like to transform. So our opponent could have Lava Darted the rail in response, but they didn't. We will -8 on the rail. We'll play a Desperate Ritual for free. Let's play the Ruby Medallion. We'll play Manamorphose for free. Blue, red. We'll Flame of Honor to draw 2. By the way, this is another great thing about this card. We're playing 2 copies of Valakut Awakening. We're actually playing cards in our deck that draw cards. So this Valakut Awakening is more functional than it normally would be. Let's cast the Flame of Honor. We'll just draw 2 cards. We have a little bit of spare mana right now. I think it's fine. Desperate Ritual. We'll cast Valakut Awakening. Bottom 2 lands and a Reckless Impulse. So we'll draw 4 here. There we go. That looked pretty good. Play the Desperate Ritual. Storm is 14. Looking for a Wish right now. So I forgot to mention it in the deck tech, so I will mention it right now. I would like to give credit for this idea to CFT Sock 03, I think it is. They're a Magic Online grinder, incredibly smart. They brew a ton of really sweet decks. The idea to go Izzet for Flame of Honor was their idea. So I've thought it was brilliant. That's why I'm playing it today and just figured I'd mention it now. But their list only plays 2 Wish, and I'm playing 3. So we're just digging for one of those wishes right now. And we're getting towards the end of the line here. Beginning to get a little worried. I will Ren's Resolve into nothing but lands. I have fizzled. This is disappointing. I might just be dead. And having 2 blue here is bad. No Past in Flames, no Wishes in the top 50% of our deck. I guess I'll draw 2. I have to hope that I'm not dead. And there's the Stormcatch Mentor, but that doesn't help me. We will pass the turn. That's crazy. Almost, I mean, you're at like, we've seen 60% of our deck roughly. I wonder what the math is on that. Even if I draw Past in Flames, I can't win. Like, we actually just drew absolutely nothing. They play an Unstable Amulet. So in the CFT Sock list, they weren't running Stormcatch Mentor, they were running Gruul. But I happen to think that Stormcatch Mentor is probably just better. Yeah, I guess the only way we win is if I draw like Manamorphose into Past in Flames or like a Reckless Impulse into Ritual Past in Flames. It's a lot of what ifs. Okay, I go to 8. I am dead to the Lava Dart. It is exact lethal. Unfortunate. I just want to see what my next card is. I felt like we hit some bad variants there. Ren's Resolve that would have found Past in Flames. Wish that would not have been good enough. Okay. So we're facing a tempo deck. I don't think Into the Floodmaw here is bad. We'll board those in and take out the Strike It Riches. I think we just want the ability to bounce, you know, a Tormod's Crypt or just a Slick Shot from killing me, that sort of thing. We'll reveal Gigantha. We have the Into the Flood Maw, that's good. We will keep, play Scalding Tarn, and pass. That's a Swift Spear. We'll take one. I'm at 19 on the end step. We will go grab a Thundering Falls. We have 3 of them. Sometimes playing Boros, I would wish that we had a third. And while now we can because we're not playing the Shadow Skull Smashing. So a nice feature. Ruby Medallion, a good draw. We'll play that. I was never going to play the Rail here because I don't want it to die to a Bolt. So I probably would have played Ren's Resolve and just passed. But now having the option to play the Ruby is quite nice. Uh-oh. Am I dead? Are you going to turn to me? Mishra's Bauble is a good start for that. That's 5 damage. They bobble. Tormod's Crypt. Uh-oh. And now they're going to swing for 8. I'll go to 10. So I have the Flood Maw for the Tormod's Crypt. Another Ruby. Let's gift our opponent a tapped fish. It's just like one of the best things you can do, Magic. Giving your opponent a tapped fish. They're going to exile my graveyard. You do not get a fish. Pyretic Ritual. I guess they don't need to play the Rail yet, so let's hold that back. We'll Ren's Resolve. So that's 3 spells this turn. I hit a land. We're short on spells here. Really needed, you know, something good here. Double land was not it. We will Manamorphose. Red, and another land. Well then. I mean, it looked like we had potential to win, and then it kind of went all out the door. Play Scalding Tarn. Ruby Medallion. I have to imagine we're dead here. Pass the turn. They have a Lightning Bolt. We'll go to 7. They have 5 damage in play. Lava Dart is going to do it, so we can just concede here. I feel like our deck kind of failed us in match number 1, and I don't think it was because of the splash. I think that we just saw some weird variants, and sometimes losses happen. So 0-1, but we're going to try to win the next 4. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Alright, let's bounce back. We're on the play for match number 2. Reveal our Gigantha. So we have the Stormcatch Mentor. We're lacking a second land. On the play, I think you're supposed to mulligan this. We will get rid of one of our Reckless Impulse effects. Play Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn. Meticulous Archive, okay. Gets rid of a Hallowed Fountain. We will fetch, grab Thundering Falls. Keep the Ren's Resolve. If we're facing the Jeskai deck, one of the best ways you can beat them is just putting them in the dirt with the impulse effects. Just keep on creating a ton of card advantage over time and, you know, winning that way. So we'll grab a land, play the Ren's Resolve. Ritual Past in Flames is not what I was hoping for there. I wanted a land and like another Reckless Impulse. Well, there's a land. I wish it was exiled, though, to this Ren's Resolve. We'll play Desperate Ritual. We will Ren's Resolve again. And there's 2 lands. Okay. So we'll play the Wooded Foothills and pass. Unfortunately, the Past in Flames will be permanently exiled. Thundering Falls. And they surveil away a Galvanic Discharge. They search out a basic island. Teferi Time Raveler, sure. They plus the Teferi. We will fetch. Let's go grab another Thundering Falls. Surveil, keep the Manamorphose, play the Mountain, we'll play Rail. So there is a downside here to the Teferi, and that is if I Ren's Resolve here and then they Solitude, I cannot Manamorphose to flip my Rail because the Teferi's in play. I could flip here. I don't think I want to. Manamorphose, Force of Negation. We lost the flip. Alright, we have to pass. They bounce the Rail. Okay. And they play an Elegant Parlor. We'll play Steam Vents and Reckless Impulse. We're certainly going to hit our land drops this game, that's for certain. Counterspell the Reckless Impulse. Okay. They tune the narrative. Arena of Glory. They plus on the Teferi, 4 cards in hand. Manamorphose. We will fetch. Let's go grab that other Thundering Falls. 2 fetchables left in the deck. We'll keep Ruby Medallion. And let's attempt to draw 2 cards here. And we hit the Mentor. I'm going to play the Ruby. We have 2 other reducers, and I feel like this one might have more value with being able to kill Teferi. Another counter target spell. They have 3 cards left in hand. They plus Teferi up to 4. Another Rail. Let's play it. Subtlety. Okay. We'll put Rail on the bottom. Let's play the Stormcatch Mentor. And let's Manamorphose. So I could fetch one of the 2 lands left in my deck. They Solitude, exiling Solitude. But the problem with that is I could fetch and then shuffle the Rail back in. I don't know. We'll make red. Strike it rich. I think I'll just put Jegantha to hand. And then we can pass. They have 2 cards now. We'll go to 13. They draw... Oh, they bounce the Solitude with Teferi. Okay. We'll search out the Steam Vents. Valakut Awakening. Play the Rail. They know that I have Jegantha. Yeah, so they're afraid. And then let the Rail resolve. I love that. They tune the narrative, getting a little bit more energy. Galvanic Discharge. I cannot respond. There is a Teferi in play once again. I know that some of you might be screaming at your computer monitor going, why didn't you cast Valakut, you idiot? I literally can't. Not possible. They plus the Teferi. I think I'm going to take a draw here and try to sit on this Valakut Awakening a little bit longer. I can't Valakut on the end step. That is what I was just talking about. So I guess I'll do it now. Let's play Valakut Awakening. We'll bottom everything. And we'll draw 4. So the Wooded Foothills can get the last fetchable in the deck. Our opponent fetches themselves. 3 cards in hand, about to drop to 4. We know one of them is a Subtlety. They plus on Teferi Time Raveler. Hardcast Lorien Revealed. We will fetch. Go grab the Mountain. So this is a weird spot because the Wish for Pact of Negation thing isn't that good. Just because there's a Teferi in play. Ruby Medallion was a fine draw. Pyretic Ritual. We'll try Past in Flames. They need a Forced Negation here. Hopefully they don't have one. And they do. Insane. So I could go Wish and empty the Warrens, but if they have Wrath of the Skies, I'd feel really foolish. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I think we're going to end up playing Galvanic Relay here. And we will Galvanic Relay for 6. Card advantage. They get rid of their Teferi to bounce our Ruby Medallion, and they draw a card. So now they're up to 5 cards in hand. Tune the narrative again. The One Ring. Sure. We can beat that. So not a lot of mana in there. We'll play Ruby Medallion. That resolved. Play Rail. We know that they still have the Subtlety. We will play a 2-mana Past in Flames. Another Force of Negation. 3 main deck Force of Negations is kind of wild. I've seen a lot of lists with 1, sometimes 2, but 3 is very good. So that is all of our copies of Past in Flames in our main deck gone. And now they will Galvanic Discharge. I don't think I care. Sure. They have 1 card remaining. We lost the flip, we'll go to 10. Let's Reckless Impulse. This will be my 2nd instant or sorcery this turn. That wasn't bad. We'll play the Pyretic Ritual. This is number 3. Rail will be 4. Strike it Rich is 5. Tails. We win the flip. I don't want to do that, though. Flashback, Strike it Rich. This, I believe, is 6. We'll say yes. Looks like I don't know how to count. Okay, so that's not great. We'll plus this Rail. And then we'll play another Rail. We'll draw 2. We won the flip, so I guess we'll keep the new one. Draw 2. We don't have any fetchables left, but I can bottom these with the Valakut Awakening. We'll -8. There we go. Play a ritual. Play another ritual. There's our mana. Manamorphose. We'll make 2 blue, so that way we have the mana for Thassa's Oracle. Play another... I guess we don't even need another Ruby Medallion, because Wish is free. But also, we have the Rail Plus, too. And I finally hit the Gigantha again. Nice. Back in exile where you belong, Big Jegs. Alright. 8 cards. We'll Ritual. Let's Valakut Awakening. We'll bottom 3. And now we'll draw 4. Going through our deck the hard way. Pyretic Ritual. Reckless Impulse. Ren's Resolve. We'll draw 2. This will put us at 1 card left in deck. We'll play the Manamorphose to empty our deck. Blue. Blue. Play the Ritual. Strike it rich. Play the Wish. Voss's Oracle. What a game of Magic the Gathering. This was a sweet one. Turn 11. That's what I signed up for. That was fun. Okay. So I think we probably want all of the Pact of Negation. And then we can board out a few copies of Strike It Rich. So this isn't a speed matchup, so unfortunately I'm going to board out the Otter. I know that it seems like that card isn't good. I think it is. I think it's better than Brawl. And where Stormcatch Mentor really shines is against decks like Nadu, which might seem a little bit weird, but just the fact that you have an extra enabler in your deck goes a long way, because you don't need a mulligan for a Ruby Medallion or a Rail or anything like that. I will keep. Arid Mesa. Ooh, Thundering Falls. We'll play it. Let's put this over here. We'll keep the Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. Meticulous Archive. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. Minamo. Narset. So this means the Valakut Awakening doesn't do much. They find Force of Negation. Scary. We'll grab Thundering Falls. Manamorphose makes mana, but it doesn't actually draw a card due to the Narset, so I think we're supposed to put that to the graveyard. Another Desperate Ritual. Play Ruby Medallion. Maybe I was supposed to play the Valakut tapped, I'm not sure. Interesting that it seemed like the Ruby Medallion just resolved without them thinking when they had a Force of Negation in hand. And now Narset finds Teferi Time Raveler. So this is definitely a spot where the Pact looks worse. And now they'll bounce the Ruby. 7 cards in their hand. Play another Ruby Medallion. Force of Negation, exiling Invert Polarity. Okay. We'll play the Wooded Foothills. Grab a basic. We'll play the other Ruby Medallion. They're going to fetch with Arid Mesa in response. They select a Thundering Falls. Okay. They plus on the Teferi. I would like to find a Reckless Impulse. There we go. Play Ren's Resolve. And a double Ritual. Okay. Let's play the Rituals. Play Past in Flames. Another Force of Negation. You are not very fun, opponent. Too many Force of Negations, in my opinion. Alright. Oh, I should not forget that I have Gigantha. Okay. Because grabbing Gigantha might be a realistic plan this game. Elegant Parlor. And they kept the card on top. Another Ruby Medallion. Put Gigantha to hand. We'll pass. Hallowed Fountain, they go to 13. Scalding Tarn. So this can get the 3rd Thundering Falls. 3 Surveils has looked very good this league. I will say that. Old Gigantha, the big old elk, enters the battlefield. But for how long? Not very is the answer. Okay, well, we gained a little bit of life. And we drew out a Solitude. They bounce our Ruby Medallion. 4 cards left in hand. The One Ring. So things are starting to get out of control here. Interesting that they used Minamo to play the One Ring, because they could have untapped it and then drawn extra cards. I don't know if I agree with that, but I've been wrong before in my life. We'll grab Thundering Falls. Get rid of the Ritual. We draw another. Play Ruby Medallion. That resolves, we will pass. They tune the narrative, and now the One Ring. They draw 2 more, up to 7 cards in hand. I feel like it's probably time to concede after my draw step. I just want to see what the next card is. And that doesn't work versus Narset, so we can concede. So, like, you might be thinking, why, like, should we be boarding it into the Floodmaw? I don't think that's really the right way to go about it. Like, we just didn't draw cards that game, really. And I know that, like, Pact of Negation looked bad against Teferi, but it would have been a Strike It Rich, which wouldn't have changed the context of that game much anyway. So I think it's fine. And there are spots where Pact of Negation ends up being very good. This hand is very good. We will keep. We will play Arid Mesa and pass the turn. Hallowed Fountain. We will go grab a Thundering Falls. Get rid of the Steam Vents, I think. Actually, no, we'll keep it. I think trying to jam a turn 2 is probably not super realistic, so let's just, you know, take our time. Play the Ruby. And it resolves! They play an island. Valakut Awakening, okay. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. Land number 3. I'm going to fetch for a Thundering Falls here. Keep the Manamorphose. And now I think we just put Jegantha to hand and pass. Because Jegantha is a card we can put on the bottom with this Valakut Awakening. Jegantha looking, you know, pretty good this league too when you have multiple copies of Valakut Awakening and extra mana and stuff. Like, I think that this has been fine. Another Ruby. Let's see if it resolves. No, 2 rubies is too many. Okay. They have 7 in hand. Pact of Negation. Let's begin with a Manamorphose. So the reason I'm starting on Manamorphose is if there's a card I want to put on the bottom, I can just play Valakut Awakening. Runs Resolve. We'll play a Mountain. Let's play the Valakut. We're going to counterspell that. Interesting. Let's play Desperate Ritual. I'm sure I'm going to receive a comment like, if you played Pyretic Ritual, you could have spliced Desperate Ritual versus the deck with counterspells in it. That is not what we want to be doing. Alright, so we will play a Rail Monsoon Mage. So we've played 4 instants and sorceries. Wish will be 5. In response, we will Pyretic Ritual. So that could, in theory, flip our Rail, and then the Solitude will not be of any use. We'll choose Tails. We lost the flip. Okay. Let's Desperate Ritual. Choose Tails again. We win the flip. Yes. And now Solitude does nothing. And our opponent concedes the match. How about that? We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the draw. I will keep. We don't really have a payoff yet for this Past in Flames, but we do have a couple Surveil lands. We have a Ruby Medallion. I think that this hand is just delightful. Alright, turn 1, Sacred Foundry. Ocelot Pride. Okay. Strike It Rich. So I could play the Strike It Rich. I'm going to choose to just Surveil here. Okay, they swing for 1. Ouch. Marsh Flats. So that means that they're probably on the Mardu build. Surprise, surprise. 2 red mana for an Amped Raptor. And then they find an Orcish Bowmasters. Jeez. Give me a break. Thundering Falls. Put them out into the graveyard. What a start. We find Wish. That was very good. So here I'm going to play Strike It Rich and then pass. On their end step, we'll grab another Thundering Falls, and then next turn we're going to do the Storm thing. Goblin Bombardment. That gets me very close to death. Okay. I'm at 11. And then they have 7 here. Alright, I'll go to 10. I mean, if they have like a Bolt, I'm dead. But I don't think most people are playing Bolts. I think it's a lot of Galvanic Discharges. Rail is very dangerous because If I deal myself enough damage, I'm just dead. I think we're supposed to keep it, though. And I don't think I'm supposed to play the Steam Vents, because if I do, I go to 8, and then I'm just dead to the Goblin Bombardment. Alright, so the first spell will be Pyretic Ritual or the Rail Count. Or Desperate Ritual. Let's look at our sideboard. What can we do? A little worried here. So Past in Flames would be count number 3. If I play Wish, I can't Past in Flames without shocking myself with the Steam Vents. We'll play Past in Flames. This is spell number 3 for Rail. Desperate Ritual. So that was 4. Striker Rich is 5. We'll play Rail. Play Wish. We win the flip. We'll transform the Rail. Wish is on the stack. They should ping it here. They didn't for some reason. Okay, we'll just get to minus this Rail. Good, sweet. I'm now in this game and I shouldn't be. Love it. Okay. I believe we have this game wrapped up. Play the Wish. Ren's Resolve. We don't want to draw a card, so we're not going to play this Manamorphose. We hit the Stormcatch Mentor. We'll Pyretic Ritual. Flashback Past in Flames. Ren's Resolve. Ren's Resolve. Play a bunch of rituals. What's crazy to me too, and it's not like the opponent was F6'd, I think they just brain farted about the Rail flip. Because they've been clicking through every single spell. Storm 24. We did not deserve this game. But when you make play mistakes, you open up the door for your opponents, and that's exactly what happened here. Okay, so we stole game number 1. We will bring in Into the Flood Maw, because I'm all about giving people tapped fish. And then we have to cut 3 cards. So the post-board games tend to be a little bit slower. I'm going to board out Striker Rich. I think I actually want to leave in the Mentor. Actually, I guess it dies to Bowmasters. We'll board it out. I guess that is the one downside compared to Brawl, is dying to Orcish Bowmasters. Reveal our Gigantha. We will keep having Flame of Honor to answer a Drannith Magistrate or Damping Sphere is very good. They play Arid Mesa, searching out a Sacred Foundry. And then they play Ocelot Pride. Thundering Falls, Surveil, keep the mountain, pass the turn. Phyrexian Tower, that's a sweet one. I don't think I've actually seen Phyrexian Tower in Mardu Energy yet. Looks like they revealed an Amped Raptor, 2 Amped Raptor. They end up playing it, okay. And now they will attack for 1. Ouch. On their end step, they'll create a cat. We'll draw the mountain that we put on top of our deck. Let's play a Rail Monsoon Mage. So why play the Rail here instead of the Ruby Medallion? I have Flame of Honor. That's the big reason here. Because if they don't kill the Rail, I can in theory play Flame of Honor on our turn with 2 modes. Double white for an Ajani. Let me read this real quick. So they can guarantee transform the Ajani with the Phyrexian Tower. That is really cool. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't... So I wasn't sure if you could kill it yourself or sacrifice it yourself to flip it, and you just can. So Phyrexian Tower looking fantastic here. And then they play the Marionette Apprentice. So a strong start again from the opponent. And then they're going to kill my Rail. Okay. So we could be dead next turn. I need to draw like a Pyretic Ritual or something here. Past in Flames. I mean, we have to try to win. It's now or never. We'll grab Mountain. Play Rail. Manamorphose. Tails. We lost the flip. We'll make red. Reckless Impulse. Play Ren's Resolve. We need to hit like Ritual something here. And we did not. So we did not find any rituals in the top 25% of our deck. We're off to game number 3. Hit submit. Okay, so game 3, we've opened up a 1-lander on the play. I don't think that this hand is good enough. We'll send it back. If you draw land 2, this hand could be the nuts. It's a big if. We have 19 other lands in our deck. I do think that this hand might end up being better than the average 5. Alright, I've decided we're going to keep. Some of you might be really upset by this decision, but I think it's better than Lily getting to 5, not having a reducer, not having rituals. Like any land off the top, I mean, that's actually not true. We have 5 tap lands in the deck, but, you know, it could allow for a good opportunity to win the game. We have 3 Surveil lands and 2 Valakut Awakening out of the 19 remaining lands. Turn 1 Guide of Souls. Well, look at that. Alright, so the question is, are we going to go for it? I have 4 guaranteed spells. We would need 2 more between Reckless Impulse and Manamorphose. I think I want to go for it. Pyretic Ritual. We'll play Rail Monsoon Mage. Desperate Ritual. Choose Tails. We lose the flip. So that's 2 spells for Rail. 3 with the Reckless Impulse. Choose Tails. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's twice this league that has happened, where we've hit nothing good for Rail. Choose Tails again. Am I supposed to flip? I feel like the answer might be yes. Red, blue. Oh, plus Rail. Play Rail. And then I guess I could Valakut Awakening for 1. We'll do that. We won the flip, but I'm not going to transform because I already have a Rail with 7 on it. Pass the turn. A little bit of misfortune there. They pick up a Godless Shrine. Amped Raptor again. So that was very good here because I can't kill this Guide of Souls now. Because the Guide of Souls is going to use its ability on itself and then kill my Rail. Well, not kill, but make it so I can't ultimate my Rail in a couple turns. So we're not in a great spot. And they do attack the Rail. So one of the better things I can do here is just to kill 2 Amped Raptors. I guess... Hold on. We'll start with Reckless Impulse. Choose Tails. Okay. We will Manamorphose. Tails again. We win the flip. No. We'll make 2 red. Another mountain. Okay. We will Reckless Impulse. Choose Tails. We win the flip. That is 3 spells this turn. And no more lands. Okay, we will minus the Rail and kill the 2 Raptors. We'll play Arid Mesa. And unfortunately pass the turn. I guess I could have attacked for 1. If I lose this game by 1 storm, you can yell at me. They play an Elegant Parlor. Marionette Apprentice. I would love to surveil in a Past in Flames. That would be fantastic here. And they're going to kill my Rail Leyline Prodigy. We'll fetch. Select Thundering Falls. Flame of Honor does not kill Guide of Souls. But I think I'm going to keep it anyway. Blue, red. I guess I should fetch out the basic first. We'll draw 2 and kill the Marionette Apprentice. There's Past in Flames. So I'm looking at maybe a win next turn. So you might have been saying, why fetch first? Because it didn't work out. Don't get me wrong. It did not work. But in theory, searching the mountain out of my deck increases the odds of me drawing a relevant card. So, yeah, ooh, that's not good. That's going to kill my Rail. Okay, so... But in theory, I could have played the Thundering Falls and Surveilled. But I didn't think that it was super relevant. And now they get to create a cat. And they can kill my Rail with the Past in Flames on the stack. We'll play the Mountain. Play Past in Flames. I'll respond with a Pyretic Ritual. We lost the flip. We go to 8. And they are, in fact, going to kill the Rail. I mean, this is still a position where we're able to win the game. We lost the flip. We will begin with a Reckless Impulse. We find another Rail. Perfect. Pyretic Ritual. We'll play the other Rail Monsoon Mage. Pyretic Ritual. We win the flip. I've played 5 spells this turn because we played the Rail. Played Desperate Ritual. So this one should flip it. We win the flip, I'll say yes. And if they wanted to, they could Goblin Bombardment the Rail Leyline Prodigy, but they did not. We will -8. We'll bounce the Guide of Souls because we can. And our opponent just had enough. Alright. Well, like I said, you give your opponent more opportunities, it comes back and bites you in the butt. And because of that, we got a match win here that we probably did not deserve. 2-1. you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. For round number 4, we're on the play. Reveal our Elk Companion. Sure, we'll keep. And our opponent reveals a Devourer of Destiny. Play Wooded Foothills past the turn. This is definitely a spot where having the Otter in the deck is nice because I'm looking for a reducer here. They put Boseiju, Kozilek's Command, and All Is Dust to the graveyard. On the end step, we will search with Wooded Foothills, grab Thundering Falls, surveil away Past in Flames, that's a good one, and another Ren's Resolve. Ouch. Let's play Ren's Resolve. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Can't you see sometimes your spells just hypnotize me? They play Boseiju as their land for the turn. Talisman of Impulse. We are going to attempt to do the thing where we win the game. Grab a mountain. Ruby Medallion. Pyretic Ritual. I mean, I said them in the wrong order, and I played them in the wrong order, but Pyretic Desperate. We'll play this Ren's Resolve. 2 more rituals. Pyretic Ritual, we'll play Ren's Resolve. All the spells. Like, when you're this far ahead, you can, like, sort of turn your brain off. Like, there's almost no chance of fizzling. We'll play Wish. Past in Flames. Like, you could have gone Grape Shot, Past in Flames, Grape Shot, but I didn't. Alright, so we win game number 1. We will take out the Strike It Rich. Bring into the Floodmaw. So previously I was boarding out like a lot of Galvanic Relays and Glimpse the Impossible. Well, Flame of Honor is a little bit different because it's also Disruption. So yeah, it is another draw 2, but on top of that, it answers Trinisphere or Chalice the Void, whatever. So you want to leave this card in. So it really, Striker Rich becomes sort of the de facto even if there's only 2. I think I like the Stormcatch Mentor in this matchup. I'm going to try something a little bit different. And I think it's important to just try things out. I'm going to try only 2 into the Floodmaw. And this way I can still wish for it. Because right now, Flame of Honor is our only card on the board to answer something. And it's a little expensive. Keep. Ugin's Labyrinth. Sure. We'll play Thundering Falls. Past in Flames to the graveyard, just like we drew it up. Pass. Eldrazi Temple. So this could be turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. It's not, though. Another land. We'll fetch. Mountain. I'll play Ruby Medallion. Like, they could have the Kozilek's Command, and I feel like it's just easier for them to kill Rail between Kozilek's Command and Dismember and, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm playing the Ruby Medallion. 4 mana. And there's Kozilek's Command. They put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Kessig Wolf Run. That's spicy. I've not seen that in this deck yet. Talisman of Impulse. The One Ring. Sure. Okay. So they still have Dismember up if they have it in hand. We draw another land. Jeez. Okay, we're going to start off by fetching. Let's pull land out of the deck. This is the sort of spot where I really wished that I had a Valakut Awakening in my hand and that I would start on the Valakut Awakening. We'll play Ren's Resolve. Into the Floodmaw. Reckless Impulse. Well, that hit 2 rituals. That's good. Play the Pyretic Ritual. So that's 3 spells this turn. Reckless Impulse is 4. Desperate Ritual is 5. So we can now try to flip our rail here. Manamorphose. Tails. We lost the flip. Blue, red. Reckless Impulse. Tails. We won the flip. Yay! We will -8 with the rail. Pyretic Ritual for free. This one should be locked up. We'll play Valakut Awakening for free. Bottom these 2 lands. Pyretic Ritual. Another nice thing is that Into the Floodmaw is an instant, so it counts towards your rail count, where the Static Prison does not. That was something that came up for me when playing Boros, where sometimes I just wished it counted, but it never did. We'll play Wish here. And we do have to exile our entire library. So keep that in mind. Well, maybe exile isn't the right word, but we need to get rid of it. Is Rail a wizard planeswalker? Nope. Okay, just making sure. You never know. We will draw 2. Into double ritual. That's nice. If I don't splice here, people will yell. So we'll splice. We will flashback the Past in Flames in the graveyard. Leave the other one in exile. Why not? Ren's Resolve. Cast Pyretic Ritual. Play Reckless Impulse. We hit the Stormcatch Mentor. Let's Manamorphose. We'll make double blue. The Otter deserves to see play. We'll play the Stormcatch Mentor. Rail Monsoon Mage. Desperate Ritual. There's so many triggers, like my whole board is covered up. I can't really see what's happening here, but we'll figure it out together. We won the flip, yes. I will keep the rail with 20-something counters on it, thank you. And now we'll -8 on the rail. I love that our opponent is being kind enough to let me just like goldfish for fun. It is really generous of them. We'll make some blue mana with this Manamorphose. I've yet to otter anyone to death. This would also be, I can't otter them to death. I just remembered the stupid One Ring. Had to go and ruin everything. We'll play another rail. I would really love to otter someone to death. I feel like that would make this league a lot more enjoyable. We win the flip. We'll keep the new rail. -8. Don't concede now, come on. Oh, they're not. There's a trigger still on this deck, okay. If you've come this far, you gotta let me keep going. 5 cards left in deck. We'll play another Manamorphose. Blue, blue. 4 cards left in deck. We'll Reckless Impulse. We'll play a Ren's Resolve. And this will exile our entire deck. People feel like you need Galvanic Relay to do it. I think that's like a big skill issue sort of thing. Because you don't. It's just super easy to exile your whole deck. Our opponent said Oracle is nice. Thank you, opponent. I agree. Alright, well, that makes it so we're 3-1. There's still one more match left to go. Hopefully we can otter someone in that match. I'll see you in the 5th and final round. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round, we're on the play. Reveal our Gigantha. Good hand, we'll keep. So this could be a hand where you go turn 1, strike it rich into turn 2 Reducer plus Manamorphose, hope to spike a win. I just don't think that this hand is capable of that. Maybe if it had a ritual, I would have done that play, but we don't. So instead, I'm just going to get the Surveil lands. Thundering Falls, keep that. We'll play the Scalding Tarn, play the Strike It Rich. So that way we're guaranteed to have 3 starting mana next turn, and you don't have to burn a Desperate Ritual to start the turn. So there's some argument to keeping Strike It Rich in hand for Storm Count or the Rail Monsoon Mage. I don't think that's a good play. Maybe if you had 2 rituals, I could see that, but with only 1, I don't like it. Our opponent plays a Thoughtseize. Ruby Medallion is gone. Scalding Tarn. Grabs another Thundering Falls. I think we're supposed to keep the Mountain. They have 6 cards in hand. I'm going to put Gigantha to my hand and pass. So I think going for it here is a little risky because you don't have enough spells to win with the Rail. So instead I'm going to try to set up with a Valakut Awakening. They pick up a Blood Crypt. Gravecrawler. Okay. Manamorphose. Okay, I think this is a reasonable time to go for it. Desperate Ritual. They use the Fatal Push. I'm going to Manamorphose. We'll choose Tails. We win the flip. I will say yes. Red, blue. We draw Wooded Foothills. And now we make 3 red. I will Manamorphose. Actually, hold on. I didn't plus my rail yet. Alright, now we'll Manamorphose. Red, red. Past in Flames. It doesn't do a ton here. I think I'm supposed to play the Valakut Awakening. We'll draw 3, putting the Gigantha and the Wooded Foothills on the bottom. Gigantha being a card to put on the bottom with Valakut Awakening has come up 3 times this league. That's kind of crazy. Pyretic Ritual. We lose the flip. Desperate Ritual. Lost the flip. Play Past in Flames. We lost the flip. Sure. We'll strike it rich. We win the flip. How about that? -8. Looks like we hit 3 cards. We'll play Pyretic Ritual. Manamorphose. We'll make blue. Friends resolve. And our opponent concedes. Okay. Flame of Honor drawing cards with Valakut Awakening is also slightly nice, so that way your hand actually has some cards in it too. I think so far, this is interesting. I think it's worth continuing to test this. Obviously, there's still a match to be played here, but it seems decent. I'm going to cut the Striker Riches, and I'll bring in 2 copies of Into the Floodmaw. Okay. We have the Stormcatch Mentor. I need a second land. Alright, you're allowed to judge me. I'm going to keep this. Assuming you draw land 2, this hand is very good in the matchup. Another Past in Flames, not ideal. We will pass the turn. I don't know what the... Oh, it's just a weird-looking Stitcher Supplier? Sure. They unearth the Marionette Apprentice. I'm not actually sure what our opponent is playing. And there's the land. They have 4 cards left. I could play our trusty Otter, but instead I'm going to Ren's Resolve, because if I find another land, I didn't, but it would have made winning next turn with the Mentor a lot easier. Land number 3 for them. They attack for 3, I'll go to 16. Village Rites. So they'll mill 3 off of the Stitcher Supplier. Mills double Damping Sphere. Okay. And then they play 1 from hand. No! Why are you like this? Alright. We will play the Rail Monsoon Mage. Pass the turn. We do have 3 Flame of Honor in our deck, and 2 Into the Floodmaws. So we're equipped to deal with this Damping Sphere. I hope that this is the game we get to use Flame of Honor's utility to showcase the card. They discard our Ren's Resolve. I'm not surprised by that. They play Nightmare. Okay, that makes sense that you're a Nightmare deck. And now they're going to get back Stitcher Supplier. Warren Soul Trader. Yeah, so you're playing that combo with the Grave Crawlers. Okay. Into the Floodmaw. Oh my. Are we going to do it here? I think we are. How do you feel about a fish opponent? When I was younger, if you were a really good player, you would often refer to bad players as fish because they were just free. At least I think that's why they did it. But it makes me think of that a little bit. How this person's a fish, for example. Well, I have successfully in this league given my opponent a tapped fish. We'll play a Desperate Ritual. Tails. We lost the flip. Manamorphose. Tails. Won the flip. No. Blue-red. Alright, so I think we're supposed to just cast the Past in Flames here, because it guarantees us to cast more spells into the rail. If I would have drawn a Ritual, I would have played the Stormcatch Mentor. We won the flip again. No. Play Desperate Ritual. Tails, we win the flip. No. Manamorphose. Tails. We lose the flip. I think you're supposed to just do red here. Thundering Falls. We'll play Ren's Resolve. Tails. Lost the flip. We hit a land. I'm going to Ren's Resolve again. We lose the flip. A land and a Desperate Ritual. We will play Desperate Ritual. Lost the flip again. Okay. I'm really into losing flips. We will Reckless Impulse. Another lost flip. Okay. Another Pyretic Ritual. Another lost flip. We will play Ruby Medallion. Past in Flames. Floating 1 red. We won a flip! How about that? Minus the rail. And there's the spells. Now we get to do the things. Reckless Impulse. We'll Manamorphose. We'll make red-blue. We'll play a Valakut Awakening. Actually, I want to play the free one. They might both be free, I don't know. We're going to bottom all of these. I'm sorry, Otter. I wanted to play you, I really did. It just didn't happen. Alright, we'll Manamorphose. Red. Red. We find Wish with Storm 17. I suppose we'll play the Wish. And Grape Shot to end the league. We did not get to Flame of Honor or Damping Sphere, but, you know, that's fine. And that is the league. Let's go look at the deck. We went 4-1, losing that first match to some bad variants, which happens sometimes when you play Magic. You can't be upset about that stuff. You just have to keep a level head and try to win the next one. And that's what we did 4 more times. So what are my thoughts? Stormcatch Mentor, we didn't really get to play with. I don't really have opinions. I do think in matchups where you want to be fast, having an extra reducer is very good. It does die to Orcish Bowmasters. Brawl does not. That said, Brawl is not a backup win condition. So, pros and cons to both. Active Negation against Teferi was really awkward. I will say that. Unlike Silence or Veil of Summer, it's probably the worst of the 3. I think that Silence stopping Solitudes and Subtleties and stuff like that is the best one. I know a lot of people are really excited about the Gruul version right now with Veil of Summer. I still think that Silence is the best protection spell. I thought that Into the Floodmaw being an instant was quite nice for our rail. I really do enjoy that. I think Flame of Honor is so good. This is one of the best things about the list in my opinion. But the thing that I like the most is 3 of these Surveil lands, which Flame of Honor allows. Because you couldn't... Okay, so in my Boros version, you could choose to not play Shatterskull Smashing and lose more games to Drannith Magistrate. But when you have Flame of Honor, you don't have to do that. You don't have to pick. You get to do it all. So we get to beat Drannith Magistrate naturally. We get to have 3 Surveil lands. Like, that part of the deck was just really enjoyable. I don't think the Color Splash is like night and day. Like, all of them are pretty good because the deck itself is really good. But it's just finding those little hedges to improve percentages. And I think Flame of Honor is the card. And if I don't mention it, I know a lot of people are going to ask, so Gifts and Given. Yes, we're playing blue. Why aren't we playing Gifts and Given? Honestly, I thought about it as like a wish target on the board. What are you cutting from your deck to put in Gifts and Given? Like maybe 2 Strike It Rich? But I don't think you actually need Gifts and Given, which doesn't work with your Ruby medallions anyway. It seems a little bit win more to me, and we don't need that. So I'm not playing Gifts and Given. If you want to play it, I don't blame you. But I don't think the deck actually needs it. And if you want to play it, it's probably based on nostalgia rather than competitiveness, if I had to take a wild guess. But that's all I've got. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. And as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.